Mirage welcomes us right back over. B8, of course, one game up. Ignore the locals up top. They are lying to you. But you know what isn't lying to you? Our beautiful HUD. We've got it back, boys. It's what? He's working under time. He's gotten out of the server before his clock could run out. Resalt and Matisik finding the early entries. This is the real CS2 experience.
Hell yeah. I'm ready to dive right into it. But fours are ready and prepped as well. Nice little burst onto that A play, and Owner caught as well, trying to transition through to Con. Now just two remaining B8 players in through CT. No kit available for either of them, and just losing more and more duels. Wrinkle down, Amster soon to follow. Lovely fast opener here from fours. Some ramp pressure, some palace play. That's sometimes all you need.
Yeah, you have to really wonder about how well Bait are going to do in Mirage, considering so much of Ancient came down to, hey, maybe, forZe weren't necessarily always in the right position on the CT side. This is a very slow instant, but okay. Feel like might have just shown the normal one instead. But regardless, so much of Ancient came down to B8 maybe having a huge smoke here and there. Owner obviously having a ridiculously good game. Feels like some of that was a little unsustainable, especially as we start to now lean into Mirage. It's a great map for Shalfie. Historically, I think Resalt does pretty well on it as well. And the fact that Shalfie is not calling on it, it is going to be curious.
Yeah, it's also a map that can be very difficult to make use of the new smokes. It's, I think, one that players have already kind of publicly commented about the fact that, the fact that Mirage connector smoke isn't quite as prevalent. It's not quite as good anymore. There's a lot of cheeky one-ways that are going to be gone now coming into CS2. Yeah. Even the self-boost that you can do at the back of the bomb site on B is something that you cannot do by yourself anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There used to be a little lip that you could slide onto, and now that's gone. So, yeah, it might be a bit more trying here for B8, but I think CT sides in general are going to have a little bit of a difficult time on this map. Might be a T-sided map at the start of our new venture into the new game. Damn, it's a little unfortunate there for Wrinkle. Hit the double dink, but sstiNiX survived on 1 HP.
Now, Michael, look at the CT economy. Think about how nice it would have been if one of them maybe...
Stop trying to sell me on this.
$500, man. Michael, they don't have Molotovs.
Yeah, I mean, they all got insta-headshot on CT Pistol anyway, right? So...
Yeah, exactly. See? Think about it this way. Captain Kurt was playing literally right next to A-main. He's going down with a headshot. Nothing else. Oh. You're a hater, Michael. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it yet. That's the problem with hot takes, is that they're not supposed to be agreeable. Even if I can see where you're coming from.
Retaking mid is going to be impossible with the how few flashes they actually have. So the fact that they're using one of these smokes for bottom connector is a little bit surprising to me. sstiNiX gone. Worried about that smoke, so maybe just serving as some distraction for Owner. Owner has had a lot of resources invested into him, actually, consistently. But given his performance, I think that is pretty warranted.
Nice move. Aggressive into ramp. Losing control of middle and finding a counteraction. NPL playing close to the smoke inside a connector, and as they make their progress out, NPL finally reveals his hand and finds two. Matisik, all that remains, but they trail straight through smokes to find that trade. B8 on the board after their first gun round.
Remember to keep an eye out for this particular duo, right? NPL playing up from connector, Owner playing up from B short. Lots of flashes to be able to come through and help them out as well. It's going to be slightly similar to what we saw in Ancient from NPL, but maybe with a lot more support. It felt like some of the other fraggers around him weren't as relevant all the time. You're not going to have so much support in middle unless you've just got two players in middle.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of funny to think that both the in-game leaders for this particular matchup put up such great numbers on that first map? You know, it's kind of an unhealthy precedent. We don't have a lot of fragging or high fragging in-game leaders in the scene.
Shout out to Nico on Mouse Sports. Ooh. Ah, okay, I don't know how he gets away with 2 kills over there. That feels like it's egregious. But Captain Kurt will take that.
Well, all of bait will take that. Flurry of frags, not much damage reciprocated aside from onto Captain Kirk, but he's at the forefront of the action with his SMG and gets a nice upgrade into AKs. In fact, all of his teammates, bar Nipple or NPL.
I'm sorry.
I fall into that trap because there was a time when that was fine. And he was cool with it, but yeah, NPL these days. But everybody has an AK except for him.
Now Flashbang can be doing very little. They're already way past it, and Wrinkle is gone. I think the funnier thing, Michael, for me was just the idea of like a bar nipple. It's just
It's very flat.
yeah. That or just some sort of piercing.
That makes more sense. I like where your head's at more than where my brain went.
No, listen, man. forZe need to find out where B8's heads are at and shoot them. Got the solution. People are saying movement's not great in CS2, but Wrinkle's doing just fine.
Yeah, smooth jump into shore, but the nade is great, and it slows them down for the peak of Captain Kirk. I mean, he's on a tear already on these A-holds. Another 2-piece. And they're just slotting himself into the stairway, but forZe needs to try and take this space. There's 2 players round the smoke, so a trade available. They still maintain that man advantage, and a significant one at that only gets worse.
Shelfie just kept that spray going. He doesn't know it, but could have been online. Well, regardless, 4th round found, and again, 3 players kept alive. The CT side economy looks egregiously good, considering the fact that forZe won out the pistol.
Yeah, bouncing back with 4 straight, but being able to keep so many players alive in that journey.
This is some real old money, generational wealth vibes going on.
Yeah, they're making their money work for them.
Very little mid presence from forZe. It's going to be just the one, and Owner misses the jump, but he goes further ahead instead. He's more than okay with it because he's found sstiNiX for free. This one's on the other side. Armor only on some of them. Easier kills have never been found.
Something to note for people at home, you know, one of the few changes Mirage went through, aside from that self-boost I was talking about on B, is that the vents are actually very accurately hitboxed now. Before it was, even if you shot through the gap, sometimes it would still break the vent. Now you have to actually land on the piece of metal if you want to break that vent properly. Saw that from Owner jumping out through window, tried to break the vent inside of ladder room, and the bullet missed. But it would have hit on CSGO. Man, they're feeling real good about this CT side thus far. Again, minimal casualties. They're just constantly stunting forZe on their efforts. Another mid play will be lined up by them, but NPL's looking to assert himself. An aggressive Molotov, and usually coupled up with a flash. That one that won't actually go deep enough to allow him to peek forward. They were trying to assemble what looked to be a run boost out from forZe, but they've cancelled. They realize that that pressure is being applied here from bait. Damn, Imagine expending all that utility and just still getting zero information.
Oh, head spotted out. NPL might be looking to hunt that one out, and that's very important head. With the bomb actually being dropped in TV room, it's crucial that Shalfie is able to get away. Doesn't want to take the duel, even if he might have been up for it. Pressure will be put once again onto Captain Kurt. He's got Owner right next to him. So this is a very dangerous duo. Amster, though, looking for a shoulder. Will get ahead instead. Can't get to. Shalfie. Bomb sweating out, and now NPL is in hot pursuit coming in from behind. Shalfie might not be ready for this. It doesn't seem like he is. He's turned away. The bomb's been dropped. They've got nothing to enter the bomb site with. Smoke to block them off behind as well. Matasic's position revealed. Although the smoke's been blown open. NPL wasn't really ready for that one. Maybe not expecting them to have a grenade this late into the round, but regardless, 30 seconds, and sstiNiX's got full control over this A bomb set. At least that's the call he's given out. Wrinkle moving in late is going to be giving himself an opportunity to actually completely unravel this round yet again. Rotation from the CT will be a little bit slow. Wrinkle gets an adjustment. It's beautifully done. The second shot as well. Earlier one was missed, but Matasic now will just be giving up the round and hoping that he doesn't go down after time.
Damn, Wrinkle played that perfect. I mean, recognized as well as soon as there was no additional push out from those B players that they were trying to reroute, and took some great position, found that player just lodging himself and stopping that rotate from the B players back through jungle, and just constantly played his life. You know, after finding that kill from default, ascended into Palace, and that second shot is just a thing of beauty. That is rough. You know, after Amster got spotted underpass, I mean, yeah, there was no way they were anticipating that NPL would push through top middle. Something of note as well is that, you know, being able to see how much your sound is permeating throughout the map is, you know, it's one of those things that does feel like it's a bit hand-holdy compared to Go, for example, because obviously you never had that information, but it is very accurate. You know, if that circle overlaps with where a player was or is, they will hear you. You know, maybe muffled because of the way that the new audio is generated and calculated. It has to bounce around through walls, but if they're in that circle, they will hear you. And NPL made great use of that on his push through top middle. All these new CS2 mechanics. Doesn't feel as though B8 or forZe have really missed a beat. I'm loving that we're seeing them actively explore, you know, blowing open these smokes and making good use of them.
Nice to see that. Keeping some nades for the late round and the like as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, Captain Kurtz has been completely try-peeked into. I guess you don't need flashes. You can always go into nades if sstiNiX is giving you shots like that. He was the one lurking in the A bomb site before, so this doesn't actually give any information to B8 at all. Although with the smoke down, they will have to start to be worried. That is a gorgeous smoke, by the way. You can go into the site immediately from that. That is nice, but Wrinkle keeping an eye out from above it. We'll find sstiNiX. Matusik not expected, but at least the trade is good. NPL looking for more. Only the two found, and it is a 2-on-1 now. Owner rotating in might not be expected. They're not ready for him. The bomb's been dropped, and Owner rotating over himself right into the bomb site. Back to triple player spotted out. Shalfie looking away. Sloppy spray, but it is Shalfie to be the one to come out on top.
Man, I thought Owner had that. I mean, played it so well. forZe let their guard down, not expecting him to have already made his way through to CT. And that flash was beautiful, but yeah, a flub spray that Shalfie will capitalize on. That's on a low investment. forZe came in with upgraded pistols, and we're certainly able to run with it as a result of getting that opening pick. That man advantage comes to play. We'll say that balcony smoke I'm not even sure if that was their intention, the way that they threw it, because it's not uncommon for players to throw that smoke just to simply get more room out from Palace, you know, get themselves down the ladder, for example. But because the smokes now adhere to sort of pathable areas for players, it will descend instead of just fully blooming upwards and then outwards. So it is interesting. You know, that smoke is a cute little play. Maybe there's even a world in which you throw one topside default, for example, to create this like pillar of smokes out of Palace. Something to workshop, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, would be quite interesting.
2 smokes and pistols. You know, that's the idea.
Resalt is gone. Wrinkle's been having a pretty decent game so far, not necessarily taking over the map, but you know what, he's been hitting his shots, and that's one of them. sstiNiX doesn't know how he died to a USB and not in a pistol round from the AWP, and NPL, beautiful double. He just keeps on getting these again and again. Denial comes through, and sure, forZe might have found a stray 1v1 in there, but other than that, it's been all B8 all the way. Maybe another clutch to be figured out by Matisic. Reload gives up his position, and Owner will start to explore as a result of that. Yeah, he's gone. Can't really look to save either. 7-3. This is kind of dire.
Yeah, no, I mean, B8 have been in control for most of this half. Like you said, forZe being able to break through in the pistol. You know, they get the secondary round, but ever since they've been on gun rounds, it's only come down to that one clutch from Shalfie. And that arguably should have even been Owner winning out that 1v1. There's a lot of cracks at the moment here on the forZe offense. Just being that big in the series, they would have expected better results. Just darting out from Palace, and Spray's not great. The Deeg of Wrinkle also dealt with, but NPL is still an unstoppable force. 17 kills thus far, and only 11 rounds of play. Amster right behind him, but NPL being low HP and them still having a man advantage, forZe hold all the cards.
The utility isn't really going to come into play either, but the bomb cross might be a problem. Shalfie will at the very least help out Matisic, a help that might not have been necessary. When that Deagle shot, forZe connect, and they will find the 4. Gives them a chance to actually fight for 5 B8. Other than that, it seems like this would have been their half all the way through. Honestly, we could have even seen a 10-2 with the way things were going. It was a 1v1 won by Shalfie, and now a couple of great Deagle shots to be hit, but beyond that, nothing working out for forZe. They really need to clean up this round.
It's very likely we could see that 8-4 like we did on Ancient. We let that big lead slip going into the second half of that first map. Maybe forZe have done enough to start to get B8 questioning their decisions in these late round moments. This kill onto Amster and a resmoke in through window, not taking space through B, but Wrinkle's already there with his AWP primed and ready to greet anyone that dare enter his bomb site. But they're rerouting. Through Con they'll go, and that's the gap. Captain Kirka and NPL just combining their efforts. A nice little crossfire as they emerge out from Con. The smokes are down, but NPL is still such a nuisance. Battling past him will be difficult, but not only just past him, Owner's alongside him, that top side of Con. And once again, forZe have to change directions.
And they're not going to have a smoke on market window, you would assume. So Wrinkle's going to be in a key position to once again just try and get the early advantage and block off any pathway over to bench. NPL, slow rotation over. Wrinkle can't find the first kill, and the second one is where he actually puts a bullet out, but doesn't actually connect. NPL does spot them out, so they know they haven't crossed back to bench. They know there's a player back on get right as well, but Tanir is going to be a little bit slow in this site to try and get himself activated. That means Shalfie's already down. Tanir's solo on the site. The second man's all the way away. Tanir just keeps on giving up his position, buying space for Matisic to come into play. Wrinkle all alone. Those missed shots have come back to bite him. Now he has to do it on the last round, and he just can't find it.
Yeah, really, really tough. I mean, as soon as he missed that shot, suddenly the B bomb site was completely open, didn't take space, didn't try and get forward position on that bomb site, even though they saw that progress up through short. You know, him not being able to slow them down or prevent them access to that site really does come back to cost them. So 7-5 half, all things considered, with how one-sided that first initial burst of rounds was by B8, I thought we could just be in for a complete stomp coming into this map. But they've done enough now that they're fully in this. You know, another pistol round could certainly go a long way transitioning into that CT side, for example, because this kind of happened on Ancient as well. So a little slow to get out the gate by forZe, but then we start to see real engagement from players like Result or Shalfie as well, just having a lot more impact.
It's also one of these things, Michael, and now that I think about it, I don't know how I didn't consider it before, but so much of the conversation about MR12 is about how, oh my god, we're going to see so many more like sort of stompy games theoretically to coming through, but also comebacks are a lot easier. You just saw them get, what, 2 or 3 rounds right there? That could have been a 10-5 as well in old school MR15 and whatnot, right? So it would have been quite interesting to sort of see how that would have transpired a little bit more so. But now, as we start to switch over halves, one of the concerns you have to have is maybe NPL's form, and especially you're seeing him having such a great impact early in 19 kills across 12 rounds. And so much of that came sort of from his positioning, playing around those smokes, always being good for 2 frags when they're coming to his bomb site, not necessarily just these raw aim fights that he's winning that can transition over more easily to the T side.
Yeah, also it can't be a one-horse race for B8 moving into that T side. You know, when they go for these site collapses, a lot of it will come down to, you know, their spacing, who's going to be getting in on that entry, because you probably don't want NPL in at the forefront of the action. You know, Amster's someone that likes to take space, for example, but hasn't been engaged in the same way, and, you know, definitely had his shortcomings or his shortfalls on that first map in the series as well. So Mirage has not been the healthy transition he was maybe hoping for. Sometimes a change of scenery is all you need. We'll be curious about the tendency of B8 for these T-side rounds, whether they go for what worked kind of on Ancient, you know, swinging a lot, going for fast plays, bursts that forZe couldn't adapt to. That was, I guess, one of the problems with them not having, a consistent 5. Magicic has stood in for quite a few of forZe's officials, but it's still not really where you want to be. Can't practice all your protocols, give him the whole strat book, because who knows, maybe he'll be working against you sometime soon.
Hopefully we're going to be getting back into things not too far off.
I'll say the AWPing we've seen thus far on Mirage is an improvement. You know, aside from that one round from Shalfie on Ancient, yeah, I'm liking we're getting some more AWPing out there. Said it was a buff. You know, the scope sound, but it doesn't really change too much about the gameplay, aside from maybe these late round moments, these 1v1s where an AWP might be on the table.
I think that's one of those things that we're going to have to sort of wait to truly see for a couple of months. The AWP meta, more than anything else, I think because of how reliant it is on reacting to utility, right? Like, you're playing around smokes a different way. There's a different amount of threat. Now you're kind of grenades. Flashes don't mean the same thing necessarily when, you know, you're already playing behind angles where you're playing more defensive because smokes can just come through the pop up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's maybe some hesitance is warranted. No hesitation in going over for a fast B play. Some things don't really change that much, and this would be one of them. Market window smoke, a couple of flashes, and a couple of boys looking for headshots. Shalfie can't find one, and although he is able to slow them down, it's Result to actually find the frags, and Result is doing it all with the dualies. Big few kills, and once again, forZe come out on top with the pistol round. Seems like they can do no wrong.
Yeah, I mean, a perfect setup there for those two forZe players. Shalfie drawing all of the attention, and then Result just kind of in the middle of the bomb site, you know, kept himself at a headshot angle, but while everyone was preoccupied with shooting Shalfie, Result just lapped them up with those dualies. They couldn't track down the trade. 30 bullets, nothing to scoff at. forZe winning both pistols here on Mirage. And have struggled in some of their gun rounds. Don't think they'll have those same struggles now that the engine is up and running. Especially no problems against these pistols.
Oh. It's going to be demolishing literally everyone. I say literally when Wrinkle's more than okay, but listen, he's dead regardless, and sstiNiX is the one finding the kill. That MP9 has paid for itself a couple of times over.
Yeah, $2,400 right into his back pocket. All he had to expend was a $300 nade. Timing is everything.
One of the things about the instant windows that I don't like in CS2, just for a really dumb reason, is that because the smoke is brown on the T side and then like the back of the window is also brown, sometimes I get worried like, oh my god, is there a gap in it? What's going on?
Oh, so, I had there's a place, I mean, on dark on Anubis or underpass or whatever you call it, electric, there it actually doesn't look like there's a smoke there sometimes. So if it's inside of that, because that back wall is like almost gray, it sometimes just doesn't even seem like there's a smoke there. So.
Yeah.
I remember thinking I missed a smoke once, and it was actually there.
I think we had something similar happen in Mirage, actually, so... Yeah.
All these fancy new colors and new lighting.
Nade open, info out. Thank you very much. 4 players on this A-bomb side. Bait have got to hit some fantastic shots, otherwise fours are lined up for a lead yet again. NPL moving forward, sstiNiX trying to play around these smokes, waiting for the push to come through. NPL's been good with patience so far. Will this be any different? Shalfie low, turns away. Huel's coming through, but Denier won't find the success that Captain Kurt did from the same position. Madison's just taking care of the palace push, but a double connector setup will be doing no favors for sstiNiX. NPL still alive and healthy. Owner just takes out his opposition, and although they had 4 players ready at the right site, they get literally nothing out of this round.
Yeah, they called the save as soon as they lost that extra presence inside of Con. Being 5 versus 3, they didn't fancy their chances. They tap out immediately. Some real chances for B8 to have just taken control of this round in a number of different ways. You know, Shalfie clearing out the mid smoke with that HE and clearing all of middle, basically, bar underneath him. You know, there was even a chance that B8 maybe even get that boost up into window before they go for that split onto the A-bomb site. That's one of those options that was available to them, but even without making use of that, those 2 kills just happened too quick. The players weren't healthy. Shalfie running through a Molotov inside of the murder hole was very unideal.
It's like a pressure cooker.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll make that rotate again if he's put into the exact same position. You know, didn't have a chance to even really have any impact in that round.
Interesting. They were thinking about going for the top end smoke, but they decided against it. MPL would rather just try and find out for connector all on his own. 3 smokes used for mid for just the 1 player. They're trying to accelerate back into A. sstiNiX will be kept completely occupied. He knows there's a player there because of the smoke extinguishing his Molotov earlier on, not just the footsteps. But in the meanwhile, NPL has found his way into jungle completely. No, it's still underpass, never mind. Thought it might have been a jungle play and would have been uncontested if it was, but the CTs have fully rotated in, and the Ts might even be considering slowing this down, letting the CTs get aggressive and make the mistakes themselves. They've got so much map control, so much space on the bomb sites, it doesn't feel like they need to plant when there's so much time left on the clock.
Yeah, this is very weird. I mean, NPL is exploring over towards B as well, and all the meanwhile, his teammates are getting chewed out. Just trying to hold onto their spots as those smokes all fade. 3 on 4, but Captain Kirk, unseen, close to the connector. sstiNiX dropped down, and now suddenly there's 2 players coming in to hold down the rotates. NPL finally activating with a double. This man has not slowed his roll. And it's a result sandwich, but it may be over-seasoned. An HE that he's got primed. NPL already out in the open. Took a wide angle to make sure he could not cross safely. NPL, the hero for bait. That was...
Hasn't had the most impact in the T side so far, but you know what? get around like that, and you're gonna have wind in your sails again.
Such a strange way to approach that on bait, though. I mean, got all the util down, made sure that there was no one CT, double mollied it, A-cheated, knew somebody was stairs, and that con pressure that NPL initially had, suddenly threw underpass through to B while his teammates are planting. There were so many ways that could have gone wrong. And they did go wrong, you know, he redeemed it.
If it works out in the end, yeah, it's still a bad idea. I'm not going to continue on with that one. Captain Kurt, though, good for one, and Madison cannot escape. Hell, he can't even find the direction to turn to. Or guys been stabbed in the back and a couple of times over. Will the AWP be recovered? No, they don't want it. Okay.
Yeah, more importantly, he gets his hand on that AK that was dropped, and he succeeds in doing that, so... Already had an AWP. Why bother with 2? Yeah, that's a little annoying there for Matisic. He got his first kill and then just couldn't tuck himself in quite enough. That booty too big.
I feel his pain. I really do. Oh, well. Connector's a little bit more spacious, and Shalfie is going to be pushing in through to help as well. And BL's playing football out here. The header to the grenade doesn't really leave him particularly healthy. sstiNiX as well has managed to evade every bullet. Comes through with a quick 1-2. So weird.
He's just looking at his legs, yeah. He just decided, you know what? I haven't looked down enough.
Gotta be humble. Owner. Position given up, knife out, and Shalfie. We know he can op.
This was actually one of those things I thought about, but we weren't going to be able to explore until forZe were on this CT side, is that when they have this double op, yeah, it will actually be very difficult for B8 to do much about it. You know, there's many ways the op can see activation. The popping open the nade smoke is actually a way in which ops can be enabled, because I won't say that smokes and ops typically get along, but suddenly if it's blown open at an unforeseen point in time, you can catch a player or 2 out. But they are more than capable to have Shalfie on that secondary, and already showing and flexing his muscles with that op.
Those muscles are gone, but Tenir at the very least does find Captain Kurt trying to take advantage of that initial kill to lurk forward. Tenir stops that from happening. But now, sstiNiX finds Amster turned around. You can see why NPL is generally the guy to go into connector, I suppose. The timing is a little bit off. Owner will be able to take advantage of it, though, and that brings things back to 2v3. Lots and lots of time for the T's to work with. And Wrinkle, hard scoping forward, is going to be able to find this B bomb set completely empty. Window smoke out, and they look to reconvene.
Oh god, they're rerouting in through middle though, and sstiNiX has not overthought this rotate. Instead, just holding and waiting to see what they do. Instant headshot onto Wrinkle. Now supposed to be the path carved out. Owner now trying to find that trade, but while sstiNiX is trapped, that Molotov will force him out. The flash is beautiful, and a smoke as well that will keep him at those top mid boxes. Not a whole lot that Owner could do about that one. Hunting him would have almost spelt his demise. Matisic had him covered, but Owner does have a free path into this B bomb site should he so choose.
He's overthought it.
But Matisic should start to lean over to B himself. Yeah, timing is going to work out in his favor, and sstiNiX has pulled the trigger as well, leaving top middle.
sstiNix's position is known. Can Owner find it? sstiNiX, though, turns around. Oh, sstiNiX has just had this round completely under lock, but not the shot.
He's got to make it.
There's actually time to get the bomb down. He does go for a slightly more conservative plant to defend, but that's going to be it. Had to plant back triple. No other way to get it done, and basically, what, 100 milliseconds, something like it?
Yeah, that is a shame. Almost had the perfect solution there. But 1/10 of a second is sometimes all the difference in the world. Now the pistols, and his teammates appreciate the extra money, but he didn't get it, really. And died after
Wait.
time. Oh wait, no. Actually, they don't get extra money. Never mind.
Yeah, well, I was so confused. Like,
He got the extra $300 for planting, but nobody else got anything.
Like, am I just dumb?
No, that one was on me.
It's nice to know that not everything points to the same direction of me being dumb. Glad. Naden and Owner is still hidden away, but those kicks are betraying him. That's the problem with those nice big basketball shoes. They are pretty noticeable.
You know, if they do come out with shoes, right, like equipable shoes, it will be mad to think that, you know, people could be walking around in real life with like $20 shoes and $300 shoes in a video game.
I find it funny that you're saying $300 when we both.
Oh no, yeah, probably it'd probably be more. I mean, I'm just, you know, just the contrast. I think is quite funny.
Look, I'm just waiting for the day when Valve goes full sellout. They do what other developers have done and get like, I don't know, like a in-game sponsorship for, you know, X, Y, and Z big shoe brand.
Oh man, I'm here for it. It's just the contrast to me is something quite interesting. I mean, I know that's definitely the case with gloves, for example.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody needs or has a pair of gloves in real life.
But everyone's got some shoes. Much more concentrated effort to try and fight early in for Connector. Got 4 players down middle, something that has been very rare to see. sstiNiX spots out Owner, but doesn't actually get the kill. All he's got is information. Matisic, the only one to actually find a frag. He's up in apartments and a second shot missed. That's not going to be doing him any favors. Owner had been left behind to take care of sstiNiX. And this collapse into the B-bomb site goes out swimmingly. They recognize that it's been very rare, actually, that anyone aggressive from short. Only one round did we see Shalpy go for that. And beyond that, it's been completely empty all day long.
Yeah, it's been passive. You know, been playing 2-2, or 2-1-2 rather, on these sites. And it's been predominantly, you know, a player top side of Connector, or maybe even trying to challenge in from window, but it hasn't been a real concerted effort to dominate mid-control, I think, except for that one round where we had, I think, underpass pressure from sstiNiX. It was maybe the one instance in which forZe really decided to investigate that, so yeah, a great read on what they could potentially exploit. And just to rectify, Matisic did hit his shot, but unfortunately it was through the wall, so...
Right. Yes. I don't know, I can give him a participation award.
Yeah. Listen, you get a lot of participation awards in CS2 as well.
It's true.
You do 20, or like, I think it's above 25 points of damage, or maybe even less than that. And you can be credited with an assist. So long as somebody else hasn't done more damage and not killed them.
Yes, there's a reason why literally no one points out assists, unless it's some ridiculous stat like, oh, the guy's got 5 kills and 20 assists, and we go like, wow, the one game in all of CS where it's actually relevant.
Yeah, I mean, as well, you know, you make the comparison to basketball, for example, where triple doubles, you know, where you're thinking about steals, points, and rebounds. You know, assists could end up being kind of like that when getting triple doubles becomes... the thing is, there would be no... It would just be like a double-double, actually. And I
mean, the triple-double would probably be like actually it would be more like a triple-triple. Point is, if ADR was like 100, and then you've got like, you know, good assists as well, then you've got some good kills, and, you know, maybe that's...
Yeah, there's a way to make a metric, I'm sure.
Yeah. But whoever came up with the term triple-double in basketball, dude, that is a baller term.
Yep. Double-double sounds too much like food.
Yeah. Resource knows exactly what's going on, but he's very lonely on this B-bomb site. The only player here, although rotations from Matisic will be coming in. Resource already gone. sstiNiX as well has hit the deck, and Owner, the only casualty so far from B8. forZe want nothing else to do with this game.
Yeah,
This
I
round.
mean, they just simply can't do anything about it. I mean, they don't have the money to continue investing and justifying going for this retake. You know, having that AWP is going to be very valuable to them, as well as an extra rifle. And there's no real need, I think, here for Bait to hunt them either. Losing a player on short so quickly, they're still going to be concerned a little bit about the possibility of a retake. But B8 in control once again. A solid lead at the start of their CT effort. And while forZe did come back, B8 get to 12 first. And we'll only need one more round to close out this series. It's at the end of games, as we saw from Ancient, where B8 can start to make some small mistakes.
Of course, just a reminder to anyone, in case you were wondering, because obviously we didn't have a pre-show because we were having some tech issues. This is a round-robin group. There's 4 round-robin groups in this season of the ESL Challenger League, season 46 for Europe. I know that the European sort of format does change around a little bit, but this is going to be 4 round-robin groups. Every group has, what, 6 teams or so. And you basically just want to be top 2. And that's the best place to be. There is some more room for error than that, but yeah. This would be a very important win for either one of them, and NPL wants to close it out, but sstiNiX! That is really nicely done. Molotov to triple, but shalfy's peeked out while blind, it looked like. I don't know if that was just the animation, but regardless, it is Wrinkle happy to take the frag over. Bomb is starting to make its way back, though. They've got a lot of space in middle on Amster. Amster wants to try and play the late game, and they want to try and play the B-bomb site.
They must know. They must have heard via Amster that a third player rotated over towards that A site, and so they're stopping and freezing in place, maybe hoping that that extra man will start to lean back to that B-bomb site instead.
Nice adjustment. He's been great this round. Spots out the bomb as well, and with that, the jig is up. Has to be a commitment, and soon sstiNiX, I think he might have spotted out Amster's gun barrel. I'm not entirely sure. No? Okay. He starts to make his way back over. Amster's got the call for a double jungle presence from the CT side, and again, playing close is Result. He needs to find more than he has a few times on the B-bomb side, and that's exactly what he gets done. Double kill found, and Amster, who was trying to play the late game, is now playing a lost game. Instead, 11th for forZe. And the T-side economy is not doing great.
That was Captain Kirka turning around, right? He was peeking in from ramp. Gotta keep your attention focused on what's ahead of you. He just exposed himself to a number of different angles. I know he had his AWPer right behind him, but yeah, those are those small mistakes that can simply add up. They did have a lot of information to work off of in that 3v3, but information can only get you so far. Buy's not the most pristine here from B8. Amster down to attack, but the rest of the squad are making quick work of this mid control. NPL already inserting himself inside of ladder, and so again, this could be a lined up B-side play. They go and mitigate straight past that Molotov, and shalfy gets caught looking the wrong direction. Result using a lot of bullets, but finding his secondary frag, and there is no hot pursuit here from the remaining B8 players. Still trapped in the apartments, and Amster now left all to his lonesome. A 1-on-3 presented to him. This could be another overtime.
Feels like it's pretty much written down already, yeah. Nice call from shalfy, though, the fact that they do put a lot more early presence out on the B-bomb side, just recognizing that's one of the things that was working out consistently for Bait. Just good stuff. It is kind of funny, though, that shalfy, although Jerry's not in forZe anymore, it does feel like shalfy is living on with the spirit of Jerry with the calling, because of how much you can tell by, okay, on CT side, they think that basically they thought that they're going to be coming into B over here. Earlier on, he put Mautasik on a rifle instead of having the op, and then sent him out to play another place. It feels like shalfy is very much playing the same philosophy of, hey, I'm going to play around the map and make myself the focal point. I still think I'm a star player. It's a little bit non-traditional when it comes to the IGL, but you don't really blame him as a player like shalfy.
Yeah. Trying to make best use of the assets he has, and he considers himself one of those assets. Mautasik, a lovely shot. A flash was primed, and both AWPers will exchange glances, but nothing more than a mean mug forZe still in with that man up. And now putting some pressure into the underpass. sstiNiX turned from a flash, and Nipple just couldn't do anything about it.
Yep. Everything's falling apart. Bait. A couple of kills would be nice, just to keep the morale up. And listen, sstiNiX is low, so if you can find this frag early on out of the connector player, maybe there's more to be done. Owners crossed over, but sstiNiX unexpected. Don't know if they weren't keeping track. Don't know if the comms weren't going on. Considering sstiNiX had been playing around the vicinity of that area for a while, but regardless, it's going to be a million things. And Wrinkle, moving forward, does have the bomb. We'll be looking to get a kill first. Honestly, I kind of want him to just go to the B bomb site. Admittedly, that's because I see the map and I know what's coming in for him. But if he does go for that, that would be kind of a sick play. Watching out for a flank to come through as well. Resol does no need to commit other than looking for information. And Wrinkles found the one only to be traded away.
Did he spot his gun barrel? Or did he just throw it out because why not? I couldn't see. But he had a spidey sense tingling. Just a little too difficult when you're completely boxed in from all sides. Lovely effort. Nice to see that multikill getting involved in some of these early engagements as well. On Ancient, it did almost feel like he was, you know, a secondary thought. You know, Shalfie was showing some nice stuff on that AWP, but multikill was playing relatively stagnant roles on his AWP. So I appreciate that, you know, he just might have had the spawn and thought, yeah, let's take this fight. Will you allow it? Well, I'm going anyway. He did a good job.
Poor Amster just not having a game.
Yeah, it has been a trying time for Amster this whole series. And the problem will only continue. Got that HE in. It's something that's actually cool to see. That mid-window player is throwing an HE as soon as he sees that mid-window smoke blooming. Trying to catch those players out and succeeds. Molly down. NPL still just making his way out from Palace, but sstiNiX was underneath, under that balcony. sstiNiX needs to fight his way out of the situation now. The Molly down. Owner trades him 3-on-2, and a player situated close to stairs, but they're trying to cross over and maybe even catch him off guard. Flash in. Owner doesn't clear it, and they actually lose 2 players for that effort. Bomb dropped at the feet of sstiNiX. It's all onto Wrinkle now.
Seen this one before, but this time it's without really any need for the CTs to aggress through, really any need for them to peek forward. They know where he is, and sstiNiX will shut him down with the AWP that he had recovered. I have to say, Bates' sort of youth is showing, like that inexperience is showing a little bit more. So many kills over here where it feels like you're just overlooking angles. NPL finding the first beautiful frag, but then not expecting sstiNiX to be around when you've sort of cleared out default, when you've seen everything, going straight for the drop down before your teammates are in position, when there's already smokes down and the like as well. Then sstiNiX getting overlooked like that. There's been a few situations where they've not been able to make a play when they have information. It's definitely one of those calm down and get your wits about you.
Yeah, it definitely it just feels like, you know, in a 3v2 like that, when you've got a smoke down towards jungle, you know, you have a man advantage. The typical response for teams would be take spawn. You know, take spawn, plant default. You hold that as a territory, or even plant other side of triple. You can even play ramp from that post plant. You know, there are ways in which they could have approached that, but they went for an unconventional approach, and they get punished for it immediately. But so the thing, you know, this is what happened on Ancient. These small mistakes, and these mistakes where it feels almost like in the heat of the moment. That's where Bait have really, like you said, shown their youth.
That's... I'm not even sure if he can see the player or not, but feels like he could.
He did not. That's the thing with these smokes as well, is that they're somewhat RNG. You know, the edges of them aren't consistent. So I think there was a timing there for NPL where he was completely undetected, and it will be one of these B crunches once again with NPL activating late.
Oh my god, the adjustment is fantastic! Resource can't get anything either! That is beautiful, Captain Kurt! Just a reminder, everyone, youth might mean folly, but it also means some strong hands.
Well, this is, as much as they would have maybe justified saving in regulation, this is overtime, where you fight for every single round, and as much as you would have wanted sstiNiX to find something out of this, a 1-on-5 on the flank was being watched by Wrinkle, but just got down for a moment. Only another Captain Kirka frag instead. A 13th found here by Bait. It's not a complete one-sided affair moving out of this first half of the overtime. That was a lovely shot.
Yeah, that was really nice.
And it's not just that he reacted to the player popping up on his screen. He got one step from Shalfie.
Yeah.
And that was all he needed.
Question is, what are we going to see from NPL over here on the CT side, right? We see 5 kills from across the entirety of the T side and overtime. He's really slowed down, and he was one of the big reasons why anything was even working for them in that first half. Resol's got a timing. Amster, tough game so far. It's about to get a little bit tougher for him as well. Who continues this aggressive angle. Wrinkle finds Shalfie. They weren't ready for the smoke to have been missed. sstiNiX continues onwards, has lurked in. Owner misses the timing. They both move past each other. They ships in the night, and sstiNiX has got one for free. Amster's gonna be flaming Owner right now, but at the very least, Owner does come through with a refrag. Bomb's been dropped down to be planted, but no, actually, Matisic's the one who has it. A 1-on-3 for him, though. Bomb might not come into play at all. They're working around the angles perfectly on the CT side, not giving him anything. And Wrinkle with a big triple.
Yep, got there on time, had that ult primed and ready to go, and was picking them off before they could even cross into the site. Found his first in through middle, but was quick to rotate once they realized that B bomb site was under siege. Yeah, Amster has not had the best of games, so for him to have, you know, an overlooked angle, he actually got onto the top side of the balcony, and they didn't really hard clear for him. If not for that, then could have been a much more one-sided affair taking that B-bomb site.
Yeah.
Even though I was kind of thinking like you. I thought forZe had a great timing in those apartments. Just didn't have all the information.
Solid position for Wrinkle to be fighting in from. He's got some backup with Owner as well in case he's being swarmed. Late mid from 2 players is honestly kind of worrying, though.
Especially because they seem to have a pretty good setup, the assault.
Yes. Yeah, you have no one really pressuring into underpass or anything like that to force players to stay in that B bomb site, right? So they're more than okay rotating away, especially with after having the smoke. NPL now, smoke will be able to dissipate initially, but they've already lost the first player on forZe. Captain Kurt position was given up. They've naded him out of existence, and Shalfie's trying to use that small bit of smoke poking out to try and peek forward. Good for a quick frag. NPL taken down. And it is just a complete collapse on this A bomb site that works perfectly. It felt like it wasn't going their way. Captain Kurt even finding the first frag, but Amster now had to pull out the round of the game, and he's not really having it.
I gotta say, I mean, that's really nice attention to detail there from forZe. I mean, the positions were great from Bait. You know, even the fact that they had this nice little crossfire between Sandwich and Underbalk. If you're going into that A bomb site, you maybe expect one of those 2 positions, but both being occupied by those 2 A players is less likely. But they threw all the Molotovs, all the HEs right on top of those positions, and it just makes it basically impossible to play those spots. Really well managed. The fact they didn't receive pressure elsewhere, forZe put the pieces together, but Wrinkle this time far more aggressive in how he opens up the affair into Palace. He finds his pick, and sstiNiX will have to expend a smoke just to keep himself afloat. This could be bad. Reaggressing into Palace after getting that pick. They're occupying it late and just exchanging glances. Result ready for the peek, but the AWP right behind for the refrag.
Oh, Matisik just running in, finds a quick kill. Amster on the AWP needs to find the frag, and he will do so. Advantage regained, but Amster's gonna have to be so careful playing around bench. Shalfie's already moved past to the back of the bomb site. If Amster starts to move in again, it's gonna be a free kill given up, and regardless, Shalfie just finds the angle. Rotation from Wrinkle is far too delayed. This seems like forZe might have done it. Their positions are fantastic. All that really is left is NPL to try and make a move.
Coming on this flank, if Wrinkle's able to backstab into it, I mean, there's a very exposed Shalfie in a D-box. This has to be a blinder of a shot, but just escaping. Shalfie switching out to that AWP and having it in place, but hits the shot just in time, and sstiNiX has him coming out of the apartments. forZe don't get 2-0. They force us into an Anubis, and it is a nail-biter finish once again. We need overtime on both our opening maps.
Man, I have to say, though, NPL dropped off like a rock of water right there.